Good morning, everyone. Greg White here at Chuckwalla Valley Raceway at the site of Cycle World Attack Performance Kawasaki Test. Over the next 2 days, Eric Bostrom and JD Beach, who are riding at Daytona for the Cycle World Attack Performance Kawasaki Team, will be testing motorcycles here in addition to Kawasaki as well. And I think some press are going to come out here and ride some motorcycles. But let me tell you what's going on. So what happens is that the Cycle World Attack Performance Team is here. There's Eric Bostrom's Kawasaki ZX-10R. There's been some modifications done from the button willow test, from what I understand, 2 weeks ago. Neither Eric nor JD have ever been to Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. Let me talk about this racetrack a little bit. It's relatively new to Southern California. It's been here for about a year. It's mostly flat. It's had some nice camber to it, elevation changes in some spots. 3 degrees change here, like a little hill here, there, like a little corkscrew. It kind of depends on which way we go. But there's also a very cool 10-degree banking here. This is really a great racetrack. I mean, it really is. It's nice and wide. The surface is great. There's a couple bumps in some spots. So it'll be interesting to see actually which way the team decides that they want to test. Eric and I were actually having a conversation about that. I've been here a few times. As many of you know, you've seen video. And I think that if you go clockwise around here, that it's a little bit more challenging than if you go counterclockwise. Getting into the 8-9 area is kind of fun. Getting over the hill and down towards the bowl, going that direction, and then coming back up onto the front straightaway. Later on, we'll have some onboard video and we'll show you the racetrack. Now, so that's Eric's motorcycle here. There's Richard Stamboli, the man behind the project, working on this bike. Down here, JD Beach will be pitted. He's going to be working on his Kawasaki ZX-6R. So, from what I understand, they have some motors built in the Daytona sport bike spec. They're going to send JD out initially on the race bike with the stock motor, get him used to the racetrack, get him some laps, get him familiar with the track, and then later on, I don't know, later on today or perhaps tomorrow, he'll get on the motorcycle that has increased horsepower, and so he'll get to feel that as well as they continue to test for Daytona. And what else is going on over here is there's a stock ZX-10, and that's going to be ridden by Curtis Adams. What Kawasaki does is they actually bring a variety of tires here to the racetrack. So they'll bring Pirellis, Bridgestones, Dunlops, and Michelins as well. In case anyone has a shootout, like let's say that they're gonna, shoot out the Kawasaki and the Honda and the Suzuki and the Ducati and blah, 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 and the magazine or the website decides that they're gonna do it all on Pirellis, well, Curtis is out there and they're getting the best possible setup for the tire choice. So if Pirelli's the choice for one of the magazines or one of the websites, they already have baseline settings set up in the suspension. Because for those that don't really know, when you change tire brands, the profile of the tire and the stiffness of the carcass and the rubber and everything changes dramatically. So the settings on the motorcycle need to be changed for optimum performance, and so that's what they're out here doing. There'll be some press out here, I think, tomorrow, but there's also a couple ZX6s, ZX6Rs, and a Versys, I believe, and I'll be putting some laps on that along with Canadian racer Vicky Scout, and she's down here as well. So I got a lot of your questions for JD and for Eric Bostrom. We'll ask those guys some of those questions when we have some time later on today or tomorrow, and I'll post those as well. So we're waiting for the riders to show up. They are typically resting and behind because, the crew's here early setting up all this great stuff. Once they get here and the 9 o'clock hour rolls around, the track will be open from 9 to 5 o'clock Pacific time. And we'll be doing laps and laps and laps and laps and hopefully give you more updates during the course of the day. Thanks for joining me here. I'll see you a little bit later on.